Hello everyone, this is Brian and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas You Only Live Once Hardcore Edition. Last time we finished up Good Springs, ending up with 1,156 experience points, and we are ready to head out into the world. One of the things that means is it is going to be time to build our official and final character, which is going to happen as soon as we reach the boundary of the town. As we pass this rock, we will be given the option to rebuild our character. Alright, we are going to stay looking the same, but we have a different set of ideas. Now, for a run like this, first of all, it's always hard to say no to a lot of intelligence because that allows us to get more skill points, and more skill points is probably more valuable than almost anything else. Now, we'll be able to get one more point from an implant later, so we can save that one for here. It's also always tempting to get as much endurance as possible, but that always has to come at the expense of other things. Now, luck increases my skills in general, plus it comes in handy in a couple of later situations. So, although it would be nice to have endurance be even higher, I will get another point from an implant later on, and I would have the option to take one more point as a intense training perk. So in other words, if I decide I need those extra hit points later on, then I will be able to do that, because I feel like we really can't afford to lower our strength when we're in hardcore mode. So I think this is what it's going to be. Now, we are going to have some different tagged skills. So we're going to need to get our guns up. That's going to be our main way of dealing damage from a distance, and we are going to need to talk our way out of things. And I think lockpick is just fine. Now that brings us to traits, and I have some interesting ideas here. So first of all, I'm going to take skilled. Now that's going to give me a lot of points in skills, which I think is some of the most valuable stuff you can get. It says that I'm going to suffer, quote-unquote, minus 10% from experience gain from now on, and I do agree that early on experience gain is really important. I want to get up to where I get some of the good perks. I want to get up to 10th, 20th level, probably 20th level as soon as I can, but after that it starts to be a disadvantage to keep leveling up. So I actually think that is going to help me, because the monsters level up with me, and once I've gotten most of the best weapons and most of the best perks, then having them continue to level up past the level of weapons I have doesn't seem like a huge advantage to me. Even though I do get some more perks, and, you know, they're valuable, but maybe they'd stop being as valuable as the amount of badness. Now, the even more interesting perk I'm planning to take is Logan's Loophole, and I'm taking it for a couple of reasons. The big advantage of Logan's Loophole is that I will never become addicted to chems, and I am very excited in a run where I will not be allowed to heal addiction to just go ahead and lock in immunity to addiction. Not to mention the fact that they're going to last twice as long, including stealth boys. Now that does mean I can never get above level 30. But I've just taken a 10% experience penalty anyway, and up at the level 30 level, I'm feeling like maybe, you know, in other words, when we get into the DLC and stuff, if we are so lucky as to live that long, I feel like it's not necessarily a huge advantage to keep leveling up. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, knowing that in theory, when I get to the auto dock in the big empty in the DLC later, I could trade this trade out, remove it if I really desperately want to leave. But I probably won't be doing that. Anyway, Logan's Loophole. There it is. That is our character. Travel onward. We will receive a 10% penalty on re-getting our experience points, but it does give us some level ups to do right here at the beginning. Alright, so we got to get our lockpick back going, but I want to get my speech to 30 lest I forget, because there are some speech 30 checks coming up. And we're going to start with the Black Widow perk to... there's a lot of male opponents, particularly early on, and we are going to get extra damage against them. Plus, we're going to have the option to instantly beat Benny when we beat him. One more level up that we've already earned. And let's get guns up to 40. Lock pick up in the 59 region. And that should be good for now. We'll level up to 4 very shortly. In fact, there's a couple of places right here where we can get some experience just for discovering map items. Powderganger camp up here. They're not going to shoot me on sight so far. But they do surround their camp with little powder charges. But if you go right up here to this truck, you can get the experience points for discovering the location without having to step on any mine. And now we've leveled up. Look how easy that was. We've leveled up to level 4. So my plan for level 4 is mostly to get sneak up. And we'll get lockpick up enough that with 15 points on a future level, we could get all the way to 75 in one go to be able to do hard locks. So yeah, we're going to need to be sneaking around a lot, of course, since when we take damage, it's forever. And at level 4, there is never a better perk to take for the long haul than Educated, because again, we're going to get more and more skill points, and skill points are what it's all about. There we go. I like to check these. There's a couple little places you can check and see if they've got any actually good clothing, like a business suit would be really wonderful. Just pick up some of this crud. And then here we are at Gene's skydiving. Gene's skydiving. There is a key on this desk, but we don't want the key. We do want the bottle cap. I want to get the experience points for unlocking this locker. That's all the key does, is unlock the locker. What do we have? Oh, just stuff to sell. Here's a locker that actually has a little bit of stuff. Now, it's easy to miss up here. There is an ammo box with a Stealth Boy in it. I think that was just a very lucky random roll. I mean, you should always check that. It just gives you a reason why you should always make sure you don't miss that box. But I am very happy to have a Stealth Boy. Now, my plan today is to get over there. Behind that hill in the distance, there is a prison, the NCR Correctional Facility, from whence these powdergangers once escaped. And there are some great quests I can do over there, and I can try to get the powdergangers a little bit less hostile to me. But I will first need to cross this field here. Now, we learned last time about what we do about bloatflies. Bloatflies, we stay at a distance, wait till we're hidden. I think I'm just detected by the...
Whoa, careful!
By the powdergangers. But again, these bloatflies won't aggro unless I get really close to them. And so as long as I'm hidden from them when I shoot them, I will be able to get a sneak attack critical, they will die in one shot. Now, if that happens, which I am not been great about avoiding, then we run away. And they can come up and fiddle with the powder gangers if they want to, but it looks like they've calmed back down. They seem to get more mad if you kind of wing them twice, and then they'll actually chase you a little bit. But blowflies are a pretty easy little bug to kill. And most importantly, kill without taking any damage. The third one, sometimes you'll find 4 blowflies here, but I'm not seeing it happening. I've got room in my inventory. I'll go ahead and pick up any bodies. So now we are safe to go over to this hill. There are a couple places on the way up where one can find little Xander roots, which we don't really need to be making stim packs for our health, but we may want to make them to sell. And it's just good to know about where these things are. So here is the NCRCF Correctional Facility. And we have arrived at it. By arriving over the hill, you avoid some of the ways that you might step on mines or powder charges on the way in. Now I have one little place I want to go here. There are some powder charges over in that direction. I'm going to carefully walk down this sidewalk to avoid that. There is this nice little place which has an explosives crate. Well, not too much in the explosives crate, but we'll always take free stuff. And Gecko steak. Alright. Now let's go say hi to the prisoners. Now there's a merchant in here that I'm going to be able to trade with a little bit. So I am always interested in picking up the free stuff that's lying on the ground. They call me an overactive junk
Hey there,
collector.
girlie.
Oh, he wants to talk to us. Hi, Dawes. Dawes is the guardian of this door.
This?
And he says
One day?
The prisoners are running the prison now.
That'll be Eddie.
Can I go in?
Well, I don't know. Depends on if you can make it worth my time.
He wants caps. Now, I am not planning to pay him the caps, but I am planning to go in. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let me just collect all these perfectly useful pieces of money. Nobody's going to get mad. Now, the thing about Dawes, if you walk over by the door and then you get hidden, you can pickpocket him. The way pickpocketing works is the more an item weighs and the more value it has, either one of those will give him a chance to detect you. So, for example, if we wanted to take this Psycho, has a value of 20, so he'd have some chance to detect us. But the key to the visitor center has no weight and no value, and that means that there is no way that he can detect us. And now this door is still red, but we're not going to be penalized for going in. So we just got ourselves in, saving 100 caps, which there's, as it turns out, as long as you can get hidden next to Dawes, there's no reason not to do. So here we are in the prison yard. They're having a little book burning party over here, and I'm going to sell them back their books. Always fun to sell them back their own things. Oh,
You
here's a nice
eyeballing
table
me?
full of junk. Okay, first guy I'm looking for is in cell block 2, or cell block K to Z. The label says. That's him. No, that's just a powder ganger. There he is. Carter. Hi, Carter. Wake up. We have
It's about time a new customer
business to
showed up.
transact. All right. First, put my trading uniform on. decided to move to the bunk bed. All right, Carter.
What's
wake up. What do you have for sale? Now, he sometimes has things that are useful. Now, remember, I am now immune to addiction. And that means that certain drugs are going to be of advantage. I'm going to buy that Med-X. We are going to use Med-X whenever we get even remotely afraid of damage because we aren't going to get addicted to it. We're also going to use alcohol when we need to carry extra things. But that seems to be some frag mines. I'm very tempted to buy some frag mines, but I think I can get enough of those without buying them, at least for the nonce. So we're not going to do that, but then we're going to sell all of our junk. All right, I've sold the powder ganger's
Pleasure
junk
doing business
back
with
to
you.
him. He's pretty easy to convince.
You eyeballing me?
Now I want to go in here. That guy has picked a real. Oh, he's not. He's pretty nearsighted. What do you think? All right, in we go. Most importantly, steal his stash of money. Now, interestingly, stealing from the powder gangers doesn't lower my karma, so I think I should do it as often as possible. I'll eventually want some scrap metal, probably want that fishing battery still. I know they're heavy to carry around. Cigarettes. Now, if the guy happens to come around the corner and catch me stealing this stuff, he's just going to take it all back. There's also a room over here where there's a footlocker, so you can get some experience points. It's usually empty. It is, but 18 experience points I'm not going to sniff at. So cell block A has these guys. Sometimes I try to talk to him to distract him.
Never gets old when something blows up.
And when he leans against that wall, then he is able to see me as we're gonna pick this up and go steal it over here just to make sure. Mine box, very important. Very useful to have some mines. It's a lot of stuff. Good stuff. Alright, so we've cleaned these guys out. There are a few other places we can go here. Go up this tower. Top of the tower. There are some tasty treats to steal. Now, the prison administration building, in which we will find the prison boss. Hello, Eddie. What do you got to say
Dawes
for
said he
yourself?
let somebody in. So you going to give me a reason not to kill you and throw your body back outside? This is
What you
powder
need
ganger
done?
territory.
Alright, so he is starting me on a line of quests called I Fought the Law. And will the law win? So you can... It would be great to get the experience points for this, but it's a little bit risky. There's no... We'll have a chance to pick that door later. So I'm just gonna... There is an aspect of permadeath that involves discretion being the better part of valor. Alright, we have gotten the quest from Eddie. Since I'm not allowed to fast travel, I have to walk back through the doorway.
You eyeballing me?
And once we get out here, we turn left, we're basically facing right toward the guy we want to meet. If there's something to be said for, speaking of discretion being the better part of valor, and we have a nice new hat that has a DT, a damage threshold of 2, taking our damage threshold up to 8. So that means the first 8 points of damage in any blow we take will be decreased by 20%. Decreased to 20%. Up here at Powder Ganger Camp South, we are going to find Chavez. Now, it's important. If you talk to Chavez and you don't have a speech of 30, then he's just going to attack you. And I don't
You just walked into the wrong
camp.
camp, my friend. Hand over everything you've got and we might let you live.
Wouldn't want to have an accident. Well, I
That's
was
nothing
sent
new.
to deal
Am I
with
supposed
you.
to be?
And yes, you should be impressed. Alright, off he goes. He's pretty easy. And look, he doesn't even think he owns this dynamite. And
Any
doesn't
lawman that comes
even
after me
think
won't
that
have
he
it
owns
easy.
this Lad's Life magazine. Money. Sarsaparilla. Alright, and back we go. Now, this area around the prison, first of all, it is patrolled by various powder gangers, so if you get them mad at you, then you will be in trouble. But also, particularly right around the prison fence, there are often powder charge mines. So the good thing to know is if you kind of go over this hill back and forth in any direction, there aren't any mines right around this hill, and so it is a great way to get in and out of the prison if you're not fast traveling. Obviously, if you're fast traveling, you just teleport right to and from this this spot right here, and then you don't have to. So
Hey.
back to see Eddie.
What?
What?
I'm happy you cleared that up for me. But we've got another situation to worry about. There's a merchant hanging around near the prison.
All right,
Something
so there's
feels
a funny merchant. Bit of a FedEx quest. You kind of go back and forth talking to people. But the nice thing about quests is that they generate experience points. Experience points generate leveling up, and that makes Tea Drinker a happy character. Okay, see, there's some of the prisoners waiting for you. I know there's another one of these things. There we are. Those. And since we've cleared out the bloat flies, we can safely walk right to where we need to go. Alright, back at Gene's skydiving, not a bloatfly in sight. But up here, next to the door, we will find Mr. Traveling Merchant.
Better be careful around these parts. I hear there's powder gangers around and dangerous for merchants like me.
And for some reason, the intelligence check doesn't give you any experience points. Some of the ones in the DLC, I could get 60 points from that, but I'll take 30 for my speech check.
Guess I was a little too obvious. I'm actually a bounty hunter. I was hoping to bag some powder gangers if they tried to rob me.
Now, if we try to bribe him or stick him up, then he will attack us, which we don't want. We just want the experience points and the quest progress. Alright. Back to Eddie. Now you can see why it's useful to clear off these bloat flies.
What?
Hello, Eddie. And he is sending us down to Prim now, which is exactly where we want to go next anyway. Now we go with quest in hand. Now to get to Prim, we come out the prison and walk over the hill the same way, past the big blood smear. And we will see, there's where Chavez was. But now we're heading for the town with the roller coaster. We get a little closer, we're going to want to take cover because there are sometimes convicts. Now the convict is confusing because they all wear the same blue clothing. And the first few times I played this, I would always end up getting the powder gangers mad at me because I thought they were the same shoot-on-sight guys that live down here. And in fact, if you kind of look, if you go in and look in the editor, they're even called, internally in the scripts, they're called powder gangers down here. And somehow, I guess they decided they wanted them to be more shoot-on-sighty. So we're gonna look here. See if we see the bad guy up on the roller coaster, because we don't want to get avoid falling damage. Go ahead and sneak up here. Always wanted to stop and pick the roses. Get a good bead on the guy up there, I will take him out, because, hey. Just looking for a safe place to jump down. Anywhere there's a little bulge in the cliff is usually pretty safe. Because falling damage counts. Alright, we have reached this point undetected. Gonna have another. Just don't want that guy to discover me while I do what I need to do here. Because there are two convicts standing in the middle of town, and I don't want to risk being, if you try to sneak in the gate, sometimes those guys detect you, and I would rather shoot them from a distance so that they never know. We have found Prim. Make sure he's not coming around there. He's off somewhere else today, it looks like. But in here, you're going to come right up to this fence and get some hollow point ammo for maximum instant kill. Let's see if we can just take that guy out. Guy down. Shot, one kill. Alright, we're in caution because the other guy thought he saw that. He didn't know where I am, and I'm going to hide behind this rock. I'm already hidden again. But, well, he's going to do his... I think he's going to do the thing where he keeps seeing the dead body and getting anxious about it. So, okay, if he's doing that, that means he's not chasing me yet. Doesn't have a... There's different flavors of caution, as it turns out. There's the caution where they're actually walking to where they last saw you, but it always makes me nervous to just stand here out in the open while I'm in caution. I'm sure he turns away. Maybe he'd even... Yeah, right there he's hidden. Oh, I almost killed him completely. Come coming toward me, but I don't have any more health left, so I'm just going to take him on. Alright, so at the cost... Oh, danger. Uh-oh. That's not good. Danger... Danger means I might be about to get shot, and that is a very... So that guy on the roller coaster saw me. I hate to do it, but this is the way we avoid taking damage when we don't even know where the bad guy is. He must... Oh, there he is. Look at that. Look at him right up there. That's so irritating. That is very irritating. He just came right when I was not going to be able to see me from there. Can't even maintain a caution very well, can he? But in a way, I shot his weapon off. Alright, so you're dead. You and your varmint rifle and your tire iron. But that had been that extra stealth boy I found in the Gene skydiving. So easy come, easy go. Now it is safe to go into Prim. We can come out of hiding. Whee! Sort of. So that stealth boy action if we had anything we wanted to do.
Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Prim is off limits.
This guy is actually sometimes useful because if one of those guys out of town tries to come kill you outside the fence, usually this guy will shoot him before he can catch you and ambush you. So I always like that guy. I'm going to make a quick stop down under the bridge. Often good ammunition. Now, I'm not going to use 5mm per se, most likely, because I'm not planning on carrying around a giant minigun, but that happens to be the kind of ammo that I can turn into more 5.56 rounds, you know, through the ammo tables if I need to. So it's good to have a little bit of that. Then I can go disassemble it. When you pull it apart, it doesn't have any weight anymore, and you just get all the powder and lead and stuff, and it doesn't have any weight. So that's one way you can transport ammo around, is convert it into its component parts. There is a little bit of loss in tail. If you keep turning it from ammo back into parts and parts back into ammo, you gradually lose some of the components, but not very much. Not very much. Here's some more ammo up here. Now, it looks like I'm being super stealthy in my stealth boy, but in fact, nobody will ever see me in these places. I think I've been through Prim maybe 250 times before I ever noticed this first aid box. And it has some stuff. Sellables and druggables. Alright, and then from this roof I can drop down behind this guy, who is supposedly standing guard, but is... Well, that's good rifle ammo. It's very easy to take all the stuff from. Stealth boy, I can probably pickpocket him, but I'm not going to risk it because you never get 100% pickpocket, except if it doesn't weigh or be worth anything. All right. The bridge to town covered with mines, and my system for picking up mines is to get my pointer kind of right in front of me, be squatted down, and then just start spamming the pick it up button. Please get the mine off. But, you know, the first few times you do that, you'll probably get hit by the mine when you're learning how it goes, but then I can't even remember the last time I got hit picking a mine up. You just get good at it. So welcome to Prim, where we have killed those guardians. There can be another roller coaster guy up in that direction, but I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Now here is a very important place when you are playing a no fast travel run. It is the other Mojave Express box. and our chance to ship things to Goodsprings. And what that does is it gets them out of our inventory. So things that we think we might want to keep, but we don't need for a while, could include, for example, where'd that 5mm ammo go that we're going to eventually disassemble, but for right now we don't need it. Waiting, we'll mail it back to right next to the weapon table. And anything we think we're going to sell, and maybe even more important, some of the crafting items. But there is a crafting, we'll send that for now. But here is a damaged robot. And our repairs and sciences aren't very high right now, but if we had some scrap metal, sensor modules, and electronics, 3, 2, and 1 respectively, then we would be able to fix that. So let's just see what we've already got. It appears we're missing the electronics part of this. Pick up some more scrap metal though. 3 wrench. In the refrigerator, purified water is useful, and a prickly pear fruit. I'm not sure if I have much alcohol, so I'll pick one up. Just a regular beer, just because I could use it to temporarily increase my carrying capacity. 2 excellent magazines. Now right behind this building is a safe that's not too hard to find, but it is possible to accidentally not notice it, so always make sure you get the safe. And it's got some good stuff that doesn't even count as stealing, unlike, stay in cover because there might be a guy up on that. There's usually 2 guys up on the roller coaster at the beginning. So there's houses over here that belong to the people of Prim, but they're all hiding in the casino, which makes this a very convenient time to take their stuff. Now, sales immediately. So inside this last house on the right is a place, a little hidden safe we can get some experience points for. And never a better time to drink a beer. Although actually we could just eat some food. That's better. Because when you're low on food, it actually lowers your strength temporarily. So you eat your food, you get back to your full carrying capacity. This cabinet has some nice stuff. Definitely use some varmint rifle repairs and ammo. So yeah, my varmint rifle is not full condition yet, so that actually increases my damage and therefore my sneak up and kill you rate. This front house on the left, there is a bottle cap, and now we have cleaned out all the houses of anything we thought was useful and we're willing to steal. We're going to head back over to the casino, staying in cover for the moment. Alright, here are our old friends Biff and Boff, which we will take all their nice stuff. Excellent. And we killed that guy up on the roller coaster. Let's see what he has. Interestingly, when you kill them on the roller coaster, 90% of the time they end up lying on the ground down below it. She came up here to get this varmint rifle because it'd be a useful repair item. Even a small amount is very good. And that, I think, is where we're going to stop for today. Next time we'll meet some new friends in Prim, find out why NCR is the new black, and generally try to stay damage-free because you only live once.